So when it comes to defending against cyber attacks, we must consider the growing complexity of our digital estates, very much about how we think about our assets and what we need to defend against. This is certainly different now to how it was 5 or 10 years ago. Organisations find themselves responsible for protecting a crisscrossing web of technologies that they may not own. These can be from user mobile devices used to access corporate data, to the systems and devices that partners and customers use to access information. And any one of these can be a point of vulnerability for your overall estate. And that changes the game when it comes to security, because you can no longer draw those traditional perimeters around your organisation. What's more is threat evolution is accelerating and becoming increasingly hostile. The new hybrid enterprise landscape increases an organisation's attack surface, creating new blind spots for attackers to exploit. Mass distribution malware has been obviously with us for several decades, but this has evolved into more tailored targeted malware, targeted at individual organisations and individuals, and has matured into a mainstream attack method. The past few years has also seen an increase in fileless malware. So loading attack code directly into memory, and more recently a rise in malware-less attacks. And these typically target online software as a service platforms such as Office 365 and involve methods like social engineering, credential theft, but also native platform capabilities. So bypassing and using things like document download, forged emails, and creation of delegation and forwarding rules. So let's have a look at the challenges that business is presented. So this represents a classic enterprise security strategy with a network perimeter and a mobile device management component bolted on. To stay competitive in the marketplace, businesses are seeking to transform using new powerful technologies. The availability of cloud, mobile and IoT is fueling major disruptions in once settled markets. Digital native startups leverage this new technology to disrupt long-standing business models. These brands have started and built themselves online. They offer products to niche audiences, focusing on rapid delivery, and many of these offer also high levels of customization. But for existing organizations, they're also driving digital transformation to adapt the way they engage with customers, empower their employees, and optimize operations and offer products and services. And this creates a unique set of security challenges. Adoption of software as a service increases collaboration, agility, and provides rapid value without many of the challenges of traditional software deployment and maintenance. Whilst IT teams don't have to update this software, they do need to be aware of its existence, purpose, and also to assess its trustworthiness and manage the available security controls that these services provide. There's also high demand for business to provide a first-class mobile experience. Today's business users increasingly have a choice of what devices and apps they can use to get their job done. The challenge here is, how do we meet the demand for a great user experience whilst ensuring the security and the integrity of devices and data? Also, IoT is proliferating, and the manageability and visibility of these devices vary greatly from traditional PC and mobile devices. With limited functionality and limited resources to run traditional agents, these devices often also produce high volumes of data and new forms of telemetry, creating challenges for businesses around privacy and security. And even if IT isn't adopting cloud platforms and infrastructure for its own purposes, many of the new IoT architectures also require cloud services to function. And this requires information security teams to evaluate the trust and integrate the controls for these platforms. So this leads to a modern enterprise whose resources and risks are no longer just defined by IP subnet addresses. So these changes not only bring new security challenges, but they also bring new opportunities for security. And this is leveraging the same massive storage and computing and analytics capabilities that are available to solve new and long-standing classic security challenges. So the modern enterprise perimeter is not a perimeter in itself. However, the core concepts of that perimeter still apply well to identity control, and that being that the separation of threats from resources using a consistent set of controls.